Welcome to Connect MKE. I'm your host, Denise Calloway. America's racial wealth gap is hurting families and communities. The net worth of the typical black family is only a fraction of the net worth of the typical white family. U.S. Bank is taking significant steps to help close the racial wealth gap nationwide with the Building Black Wealth program. But it's also working at the local branch level and with community partners to make life-changing financial information available to everyone. Joining us to talk more about this effort here in Milwaukee is Nina Johnson, Senior Vice President, Wisconsin Branch Bank Leader. Nina, thank you for being with us here on Connect MKE.
Thank you for inviting us today.
Of course. Most people may look at their local branch bank as a way to handle their typical day in and day out financial needs, maybe even looking at the branch for a mortgage. But branches can offer and do offer many more services than that to help build wealth.
Correct. We understand that our customers' needs are multifaceted. And so from that perspective, our focus in the branches are not just transactional. It's more of a one U.S. Bank approach to making sure that our customers are supported, not only in their individual needs, but then also for our small businesses as well. So when we think about the traditional experience of going in to cash a check, et cetera, we try to expand beyond that with the One U.S. Bank solution. So it could potentially be a multifaceted opportunity to support your checking, your savings, your small business, your credit card needs, mortgage, and then also wealth. And that's a part of what we're trying to do each and every day throughout our retail branch footprint.
If someone wants to better understand the services that are available at their branch, particularly those that help them build wealth and credit, what's the best way to find out about those?
Thank you. So reaching out to your local banker is the most valuable part of the process, because when you're building that relationship with your respective branch, they get to know exactly what your needs are each and every day. And our partners within the branches that support the expertise associated with things like mortgages, for example, or wealth for small business, they've worked together with the branch employees just to make sure there's some detail that's pertinent to the individual that's in need of support, but then also the business owner who's trying to expand their organization. So stopping at the branch, meeting with a banker, identifying the tools available, which, by the way, are not only available in the branch, but also on our digital platform using our online solution so that it's more convenient for those who are working during the normal hours that the branches are open. Those components of what we do to build a bridge to help those who are trying to succeed in their financial futures, those individual things can help to create a wraparound solution for not only the individual, but the business owner.
Building wealth really starts with a plan and a comprehensive plan. Can individuals and families get help at their local branch just starting to plan, just starting at the very beginning?
They certainly can. And I don't know if some of our viewers have seen some of the previous footage on our access commitment, but that is a $100 billion initiative that is focused on not only building wealth, but also supporting affordable housing and also small businesses for people of color. And so when we think about that three-prong approach to helping to close the gap, a part of that component would not be viable without our partners like McMurtry Financial Services on the call today, but then also our leaders within the organization who are focused on building that plan together with our community in mind. So the racial wealth gap, I would say opportunity, is something that we are very serious about helping to close. And that work starts in your branch. And so with branch personnel, as well as those who are supporting our retail team on the wealth side. We have licensed bankers in our branches who are helping our customers start to talk about what's next on the horizon for their financial futures, what tools are needed to get people started on the right track. And then also for those who've never saved before, never looked at investing or owned an insurance policy, for example, those types of conversations start right there in the branch.
One of the things that it really, I think, sometimes can kind of put people off when you talk about building wealth is that sounds like you need a lot of money to be able to get started. But people can really get started with just a few $100s. Can you talk a little bit about some of the ways, some of the products or programs that U.S. Bank has in place to help people get started?
Sure. So, just thinking about early on in my own career, I didn't realize how important it was to understand how saving and getting started was at an early age. And so, to your point, it's so simple. You're literally just going in and talking with your branch representative about opening a savings account. That's bare minimum. And when we think about how much it costs to start to save, in my mind, it's like, how much does it cost not to save? That's the way I look at that question is, if you're not saving for a rainy day, if you're not saving for your family's future, if you're not setting aside a few dollars instead of buying a cup of coffee, and using those dollars literally to put into a savings account to get the ball rolling, to start the momentum moving in the right direction, then it's going to cost you on the back end potentially more than it would have if you would have started to save based on that initial first cup of coffee.
And we actually have a time coming up where people, if you're going to be getting a tax refund, this may be a good time to put that into savings or to start savings because it's money you probably didn't think you were going to have coming back into your pocket.
Completely agree with that. In fact, this time of year is it's a test, I would say, because you could buy those beautiful stilettos or that purse or that new car, whatever you're thinking about buying with that tax refund. Think twice about that and say, do I really need that? Or do I have an opportunity to take this unexpected lump sum of money and set it aside for a rainy day? And by the way, do I also have the opportunity to talk to my banker about putting that money in a certificate of deposit, commonly known as a CD, or a money market, which, by the way, CDs and money markets are at historically high rates right now, just to capitalize on the growth that's happening right now within our industry. So is that the opportunity that you want to maximize? Definitely have those conversations right now. To your point, tax refunds are tempting as it pertains to those who enjoy spending, but think about it a new way, and I think you'll have a really nice outcome on the back end.
One of the things that U.S. Bank does, in addition to offering services in its branches, is to also work with community partners. Why is it important to also work with community partners to spread the information about how wealth can be built and how people can better manage their money?
That's a great question. So I have to give a shout out to U.S. Bank. I started at the bank in 2019. I've been in banking for about 40 plus years. And I tell you, I've never been at a more community focused organization of its size and its scale. This bank is celebrating 160 years right now as we speak in the Wisconsin market. And so just thinking about it from that perspective and knowing that as the community evolves, as it shifts and grows and moves forward, the banking industry does so as well. And so it's an honor to know that this bank is community focused, will be in the future. And part of that experience includes our partnerships with our nonprofits and our community leaders who are focused on driving a positive narrative forward as pertains to access to capital, access to wealth, access to business growth, etc. And so the access commitment, which was established recently during the pandemic, mind you, that program supports the advancement of communities and includes Milwaukee in that scenario. So within this footprint, we are supporting our small businesses, affordable housing partners, as well as wealth building strategies in order to make sure that the mission does not fall by the wayside in respective areas of color. And so part of that initiative includes collaboration with organizations like McMurtry Financial Services. So it's vitally important for us to work together with organizations like McMurtry Financial Services to succeed in what we planned to do years ago, which is to impact tangible output to communities in need of socioeconomic outcomes. And that includes building Black wealth, that includes building Hispanic wealth, that includes moving forward in the areas that are concentrated on, trying to figure out a way to grow and reach a level of sustainability within our community.
We are going to have just a quick minute or two to talk to Cheryl McMurtry. Cheryl is working with U.S. Bank, and she's sponsoring a financial symposium for folks later in April. Cheryl, who should attend the symposium, and what will they learn?
Absolutely. Our symposium is designed to serve the small business community as well as the nonprofit community in our area. And so if you are looking to start a business or start an organization, if you're currently in business and want to scale your business, or if you need some trusted resources to take your business from where it is today to the next level, you want to attend this symposium.
What are some of the things, if you can kind of describe briefly, some of the things that people will be able to learn when they're there? What are some of the specifics?
Yes, we are trying to cover as much ground as we can. It's an all-day symposium, and we have some amazing sponsors and financial experts that will be joining us. And so we are going to cover from business startup, financial management and oversight, obtaining and accessing capital for your business, investing, estate planning, branding your business, understanding data analysis and impact, as well as scaling your business. So we have quite a bit of ground that we're looking to cover just to meet the needs that we often find our small business owners and nonprofit organizations really needing that partnership or trusted resource to position themselves to take their business or their organization to the next level. And so we wanted to provide an opportunity for those business owners and organizational leaders to not only gain information, but to actually connect with tangible resources that will be in the room that day, such as U.S. Bank, which is one of our sponsors. And I'm a former was First Star Bank, now U.S. Bank employee. That's how I ended up in this area. And they are my bank for my business. And so they will be there available, ready to connect with owners and organizational leaders in the community to share what ways they can support, what products and services they offer. And see, we want those in attendance to actually connect and walk out of the symposium that day with tangible resources.
Well, Cheryl, we want to give people some information about the symposium as we wrap up so they can join. The McMurtry Financial Symposium 2023 is April 26th from 8:30 to 3:30. You can register now at McMurtryFinancialServices.com. Coming up, we'll get more details about the many aspects of U.S. Bank's Building Black Wealth program with important information you can use now.